Hello everyone, welcome back to the channel. I'm Abe with MysticGenmara.com, a small town mystic from the middle of Idaho. And tonight, whenever you happen to be seeing this, I would like to offer your elemental rune reading for December 14th through the 20th of 2025 for the elemental energies. These are general readings, so take what works, leave the rest for somebody else. If you're interested as to why I read for the elements instead of the zodiac signs, there's a link in the description for that. And there's some other goodies down there as well you can check out. We'll hop right in here for our fire family. Fire covers the zodiac signs of Aries, Leo, and Sagittarius. So if you're Aries, Leo, or Sagittarius, or have fire high up in your charts, this message is for you. And fire, you're starting off with the Inga's rune, which is a rune of fertility. Color is yellow. Tarot association is judgment. Astrology is the new moon. And with judgment, we're talking about discernment, being able to tell the right path and good from evil, things like that. It's completion of an idea or project, a new beginning, a time of positive energies, good fortune coming in. So fire, you've actually been really successful here lately. I keep seeing this style of rune come up, which is great considering it's, coming into Yule season. And what this is really wanting to bring forward is with the new moon and judgment, you have the discernment to pick the next best path for yourself. And you have that ability because of things you've went through. So this week is one of those weeks where other people might be running around going, oh no, what am I doing next? Where am I headed? What am I doing? Fire is going to be a lot more in control of themselves. You have a plan, you know where you're going, which is actually pretty impressive considering, the holidays tend to bring out the chaos in a lot of people, but not for fire this year. Fire's going to be on top of it. So you might even be done Christmas shopping. You have to pick up a couple of groceries, and that's about the size of it is what I'm hearing. So fire, good job. Your second rune is the Berkana rune, which is the rune of birth. Color is dark green. Tarot association is the Empress. And the astrology is Virgo, so this is bringing in some earth energy. Renewal, promise of a new beginning, new growth, birth, family, and the home. So you have fertility and birth as your two key terms for this week, fire. But you're also showing that you have gained knowledge. You're ready to start something different and new. You're actually in control of how you're moving forward this week, which is pretty impressive. And you have the Empress, which is good luck. It's the supporting energy out of the two, the Emperor and the Empress. But that support is so powerful because without that, the Emperor would not be able to stand. So you have this beautiful energy coming in a supporting way. And fire, this week is definitely, things are moving your direction. We'll just say that. And it's definitely going to be one of those weeks where you feel like everything's just kind of falling into place, because it kind of is. And you actually feel ready to take on anything that happens. Doesn't matter if it's, what kind of chaos the universe decides to offer. You're like, nope, I got this. I don't need to worry. So fire, you're in a really good spot this week. Let's take a peek at our earth energy, which is Taurus, Virgo, and Capricorn. Sorry, I don't know what my deal is today. We are starting off with the Iawaz rune, which is the yew tree rune. Color is dark blue. Tarot association is the Hanged Man, and astrology is Scorpio. So Earth, this is bringing in some could be intense water energy. Protection, a time of death and rebirth, foresight, and perseverance. With this kind of energy coming up, the dark blue, very heart of the ocean, the Hanged Man, forcing you to look at things from a different perspective to gain enlightenment. And Scorpio, which is known as the fire of the water signs, you have this energy of shifting, changing. Something has to be done differently. The way you've always done it is no longer going to work. This week in particular, there is a call to action to shift a perspective or shift a... They're saying it could be just shifting life around a little bit too, so however that plays out for you. But you definitely are not going to be standing in the same place that you were before, because that is just not happening this week. And it's not going to be hostile, but it's definitely not going to be optional is what I'm hearing. So Your second rune is the Jira rune, which is the rune of the year. Color is light blue. Tarot association is the Fool. Astrology is Earth, your energy, signifying the cycles of nature and life, something coming to fruition, effort receiving its just rewards. You have some very interesting energy coming up here because you got the Hanged Man and Eowaz saying it's time to change everything, flip the apple cart, it's time to shift. But then you have the Jira coming in with the year and the Fool saying, yeah, there's a little bit of naivety, like you Earth, it almost feels like you don't think that's going to happen, or it's not going to be the way it's being brought forward by any of the readers that you've listened to. And it's really saying, no, the cycle is broken. The cycle is over. It is time to start over. It is time to refresh the screen, however you want to look at it. Things are shifting. And it's changing the perspective allows you to see how this is a benefit to you, because it's going to be a benefit. The Fool energy is what's saying that naive, oh no, we can change everything and nothing bad's going to happen. Universe is like, sorry, dude. Things are going to change. It's not going to be comfortable. It's going to be necessary because there's something bigger coming. I'm feeling that very strongly for our Earth family. Something's in the works here. The universe is not shifting and tossing everything around like Legos just because it wants to be rough and tumble. It's actually doing it because there's something that needs to be made some space for. And when that space arrives, Earth, you're going to be like, oh, that's what that was all about. That's the Hanged Man aspect of it. So let's hop over here to our air family. Air covers the zodiacs of Gemini, Libra, and Aquarius. And your first rune is the Wunjo rune, which is one of the runes of joy. Color is yellow, tarot association is strength, and astrology is Leo, so you're working with some fire energy. A sign of happiness and harmony between people, a situation changing for the better. Air, if there is a passion project that you've been wanting to do, if there's that special someone that you've just wanted to do something special for, coworker, friend, spouse, or kids, depending on what's going on in your life, this is where you're going to get that call to action. This is where you're going to feel that next step, and it's going to come in actually pretty boldly. It's not going to be a subtle, like you wake up from a dream and like, that was a cool idea. It's going to be more of like an email pops in and you're going to be like, nope, that's what I need to get for that person. It's going to be pretty obvious as far as that goes. But this energy that's shifting here is actually going to show your strengths, and it's also going to show your passions. So it could be actually like filling out an application for a promotion or a job where you get to show yourself off. But there's definitely, you're doing the work because it's something you're passionate about, and it's going to end up benefiting multiple other people is what I'm hearing. Your second rune is the Thurazaz rune, which is the god of strength rune. So you've got a lot of strength. That's the aspect of this. Color is bright red. Tarot association is the Emperor, and astrology is Mars. So you're definitely going with that fire and masculine energy here. Protection, someone providing help, good news coming in. Air. There is a lot of fire here, but I'm also getting this could be a challenge that's coming up that's going to reveal your strengths. If you have been questioning, I don't know what my strengths are, I don't know what my capabilities are, I don't know, fill in the blank about your passions, you're not what you know, things like that. This week is going to be pulling a band-aid off, because you do know, it's just you're choosing to not acknowledge it. And that's this god of strength energy. The Emperor is not someone to tiptoe around. This is not an energy of, well, let me just explain this to you gently. This is a warrior. This energy is coming in with like fire and brimstone saying, wake the heck up. We are not doing this anymore. It is time to get things moving. So you're in a really, it could be a very positive spot, but there's also this intensity that when this starts to go, it's going to happen fast. And you may not realize in the moment, like you may feel like you're overwhelmed and you can't handle it, but the outcome is actually going to reveal your truths. It's going to reveal your strengths. Those things that you weren't sure what direction to go with, they're going to come to the front and you're going to be like, oh, now I know what I'm doing with this. So it's going to be an interesting week for our air family. Please comment down below. Let me know how this plays out for you if you feel comfortable with that. And water. Cancer, Scorpio, and Pisces, all of our fishies out there. We are starting you off with, sorry, water. We are starting off with the Hagalaz rune, not the most pleasant of runes. It is the rune of hail. Color is light blue. Tarot association is the world, and astrology is Aquarius. So this is tying into some air here. Signifies unexpected setbacks or problems, attempts to let things flow, which is what water does best, and disruptive natural events. If you're in the north of the country, you could be dealing with some snowstorms. They keep predicting, still haven't had one. But what I'm seeing with this one is, just because you have put all this effort into the situation, water, and I'm not seeing for sure what this is, but I'm getting a really strong impression it has to do with work. You put a lot of time and effort into something, and right now it feels like you're just being pelted, like you've got these gigantic ice balls just smacking you all over the place, and you can't get your feet underneath you. You feel like you can't catch a break. And this is just coming from the first room. We haven't looked at the second one yet. But with the world coming in as your tarot, it's also saying this is because you're at the end of a cycle. Basically, that's a horrible way to think about that. Basically, it's like there's some stuff that needs to be beat out of the situation, and that's where the hail's coming in. It's like we're going to pelt this until it softens up and lets it go. So if there's something that you've been clinging to, like this is what I have to have, this week would be a week to figure out how to let that go. This could be the week where you just want to make some space, maybe process some shadow work, because it's not going to... I feel like this is one of those fate things where it's going to happen one way or another. It's just whether or not you're ready to let it go. If you are, things are going to go much more gentle. And again, general readings, but water, this could be an interesting week as far as the heaviness goes. Your second rune, of course I said that, and this is the rune that comes up, is Perth. This is the rune of fate. Color is black. Tarot association is the Wheel of Fortune, and astrology is Saturn. This is not going to be something you're going to skip, water. This has to happen. Mystery, chance, unexpected material gain, and surprises. Hidden things coming to light. Water. Hagalaz is not your friend. But it is. It's that friend that is going to tell you, no, that dress does not make you look fat. The fat makes you look fat. It's that kind of energy that's coming in here. This is going to be some brutal honesty that needs to come to the forefront. But once that happens, and it's fated, this is not an option. Perth is making it very clear, this has to happen. You have Saturn, that stern father masculine energy that is not hateful, but is definitely not letting you get away with anything. Water, you love your shenanigans with, turn on the waterworks and people just do their thing. That's not working this week. But when you process the shadow energy that's coming forward for you, whatever that may be, your success is almost guaranteed. It's that energy of you have to make the space. Sometimes you have to let go of something. If you're holding on tight to something and someone's whacking you with a ruler, you're going to let it go eventually. That's what this is. So the sooner you're willing and ready to release whatever it is you're holding on to, the past, previous thought form, a friend from who knows how long ago, when you're ready to release that, things are going to speed up and it's going to actually settle down a lot easier for you. So water, not going to be the best week, sorry. It's going to be a necessary week, because on the other side of these supposed setbacks and trials is actually a great deal of reward for the work you've done. Yes, you put a lot into this and it feels like everything's being upended right now, but the outcome on the other side is necessary. So you need to go through this. It's fated basically to be that way. So hopefully, water, I hope you have a great week. It's going to be it's going to be a rough week, but your reward is worth it. Let's put it that way. Overall, I'm feeling very strongly that this week is about change, transformation, and even though it's mainly for Earth, I think if everyone this week kind of looks at things from a different perspective, instead of being more centric, personal centric, like almost selfish, like looking in a mirror, if you start to look at the world around you this week, I feel like that's going to shift a dynamic, and it may ease some of the tensions that are popping up this week, and allow yourself to understand Everything in the world happens for a reason, and this week is definitely a call to arms for understanding what those reasons are. And when I say call to arms, it's meaning being willing to accept, nope, this is what's happening, this is why it's happening. And even if you don't know the why, this is what's going on. So there has to be a purpose once I get to the other side of this. So as you go through this week, definitely keep your feet on the ground, your heart with the God Source Divine energy, and see what happens. And like, comment, and subscribe. I'll see you guys in the next one.